What's good, y'all? My name is Rorvis Paradox, aka Dox Brando. And I'd like to walk you all to another installment of Rorvis Reviews. Got another great episode for y'all just to to highlight some local talent. And when I mean local, I mean up and coming artists, not only out here in Arizona, but I got somebody out of Houston as well. So I hope y'all prepared for this great episode. With all that being said, let's get into it. First album that we're going to be talking about today is 2024's Heaven Can Wait by Ronnie Dijon. Now, Ronnie is a supporter of the channel. He's someone that I've been getting introduced to through a mutual friend in Juno, who has allowed me to be in their space for live music reviews through IG, to hear up and coming artists just put out some music out, just to get some feedback for not just the people that are hosting the live, but also the people in the live audience as well. And I think that's been an interesting thing to watch happen over these last couple of months. I've enjoyed the experience, and I think that it allowed me to understand where Ronnie is coming from as an artist when he does critique artists and how they can get better. And I've enjoyed that experience thus far. Now, what led me to checking out his music is that, after one live session that had a lot of exciting experiences within it, I asked the chat that I'm now a part of, give me some music to review. I need something for this week. And Ronnie gave me his project, and I had to check it out. I had to check man's out, especially to see what he's been able to do and how he talks. I wanted to know what type of artist he is. Now, Ronnie's rap style is not what I expected it. Ronnie being from Cali and living out here for a while, I expected him to be more of an upfront lyricist. I expected, I didn't really expect what I got, and that's not really a bad thing. His style is more trap based, with influences of doom, in my opinion, with certain rhyme patterns. But the thing that takes his style over the top is how he's able to use his voice. He gets into his own iteration of Kendrick's vocal inflections. How Kendrick has different voices, and he can really change his octaves and manipulate his voice like it's a superpower. Ronnie can do that same type of thing, where it's just like he's putting a lot of himself within his music, and I think that's very, very skillful. And I enjoyed the process that he's given us this music, this passion that he's given us. And this leads to me talking about him sounding like a musical vet. And what I mean by that is, when I was listening to this album, it sounded like music I would hear from like a rap competition show, like that new joint that's on Netflix. But he sounds like somebody that's been doing this for a while. His music is polished, and it's like not just polished, like in a sense it could just go out. Like, I think he could like show this to somebody that's at a record label and possibly get a deal. This leads to me saying about what we got in this album. And Ronnie, in his when I was searching through his Spotify and seeing his little bio, he states that his music is his therapy. And with this album, which is very personal, even down to the cover, I can say that statement is true. This very powerful album that he given us shows where he's coming from as an artist, and it was quite the ride in some areas, but we'll get to that as I break down how I feel about track to track. Now, the first track, the intro, Nothing But God, featuring Part of God. This was a very powerful intro. It starts with a snippet from a news segment about the death of Ronnie's sister on channel 12, and this threw me off instantly because I was like, man, what? And I was shocked for a minute, taken aback a bit, but like I just continue to push through the ride. And then the intro is just, it sounds so angry and emotional, and I love it. Like, all this passion, all this anger that you get from losing a loved one due to some very unfortunate circumstances, some bullshit because of another person decided to take her life. It was just, I don't know, it kind of just left me amazed that he stuck true to his guns about being music being his therapy, because this is something that you will let out in front of a therapist, but he's using his platform and his artistry as that therapy session to allow us into his psyche, which I thought was very bold and very courageous of him. He paints the picture of what happened. I'll hate to say wonderfully, but it's amazing how he's painting a picture of how he's going with the different flows and pockets and the different lyrics that he's utilizing. This man is just purely grief driven with the anger as well, and it's just a lot, man. Then when you get a hook like "I don't fear nothing but God," you know, it's one of those where it's like I was hooked, like I was in. He had me locked in from this point on. And then you get into the song Angel. Now at first, when I first heard it, I wasn't too keen on it. Like, I don't know, it felt very on the nose. But you know, the further I got into the song, the more I listened to it. You know, like I said, this is a personal album, and I'm not going to like be too harsh about it, because it's not like For Your Eyes Only, where I felt like that was like that could have been straight to that person, all good. I don't think that project was good over well, but I think this album has certain tracks where it's just like very personalized, and some of them it takes a little more time to listen to, like to get accustomed to them, and you'll start to enjoy them a bit more. And that's what happened with me. Like, it's not a favorite on my favorite of the album for me, but I did enjoy it. He's talking about his sister, you know, talking about how she saved him a spot in heaven. He says he sees her in her dreams, you know, and it's just like very touching type of song. I think the hook is cool. Like I said, like overall, like I think the hook is what really got me to start to like this song. I think it's really cool. I think it's catchy, you know. And then the beat switch on the back end, sheesh, like it went to another plane of existence on that, and I really enjoyed that. Manifest with Sir Will. I think this is a good track. I think it feels like, I don't know, like it feels like some type of music that could be on like a sports soundtrack. And I mean, like, I'm not trying to say it's generic, but it feels like it could be utilized in multiple ways, and you know, it's a cool song. It's a cool song. I enjoyed the hook. I think the hook is good. Ronnie was sliding. The rapping from Sir Will is a highlight in itself. I think he spazzed on here, but not one of my favorites on here, but it's one of those where like the amount of times I played this album, I never skipped it. I never skipped a track. So that tells you how good of a track list this is, that it's good enough to be a part. But when I go to listen to the song on its own, I probably wouldn't, but I think that's up to you to judge. Justice for You, an interlude. This is his grandma talking about his sister, talking about her grandbaby, his sister's daughter. And then there's other snippets of people talking about missing Robin and stuff like that. Very emotional. And, you know, another case of him relaying to us what has happened. And this happened back in 2020, so it's been some time since her passing, but still I know it's still open wound for him, so I have to acknowledge that. The next track, My Baby Girl, I think this is a nice featuring Miko Midori. I think this is a nice song. This is a song about a man becoming a father, you know, how his life changing. I think that it's not that long of a song, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. I think it's well done. I think that it's nice to hear men talking about fatherhood in such a sense, how their life just changing, you know, reading bedtime stories, you know, making the adjustments to fatherhood, things of that nature. And then I have to say that Miko, the feature artist, has such a beautiful voice. She does a great job singing the hook and then the closing pieces. I think she was well utilized in this track, and you know, been interesting to hear more from her, so maybe I have to check her out, check her music out. But again, a nice song. The next song, Passport featuring Swavy. It's a cool track. I enjoyed the snippet from Pimp C talking on the radio about everyone lying, fake drug dealers, all that. Y'all know the snippet I'm talking about. The beat switch on the back end of the song. The song becomes like a beautiful like choir performance. It was well excellent, and both Ronnie and Swavy are able to like control this song in a great way. I think this will be good, just like to see it perform live. That's probably where it's at its best. A cool song. Just the vibe. This just, it's just like a nice little song. It's not like an interlude, but it feels like an interlude. Like it's just like nothing is building upon this song. It's just like a song that's just coasting with the vibe that's going on here. I think that could be used for something. This is a song that I think could be used probably like in film, TV, like a club scene, or just like maybe like a intimate scene, somebody in their house with their significant other, stuff like that. I think this is a song that has some potential and different uses. Fly Away, another interlude on here. This is the grandma talking again. She has like a little personal poem for Robin, and again, one of those moments where it's just like it's like a knife to the heart, having someone go through such trauma, such horrific things, and having to overcome that. So it was a beautiful piece. Highly recommend y'all check that portion out. Now Everything Will Change. Ronnie is just like kind of recapping to his sister about what has happened in life. Her baby getting bigger. He's a father now. Everybody like around them is becoming parents. The different opportunities, things of that nature. It's just another one of those like, man, like I know it hits close to home for a lot of people about losing someone and having those like kind of conversations to them and wondering how they feel in this situation now. Like, imagine them just getting older, stuff like that. I think it was a good track. Ready to Win by featuring Damn. I think the hook and the bridge go good on here. I think just Ready to Win, just like, I think it's just all catchy. I think it's very like infectious. I think like I said about the other track, probably does well as a live performance, just to get people just to sing it over and over and over. I think this could show the crowd control that Ronnie can do, things of that nature. Damn was over here flowing. It was just like overall just a really cool track. Now going on to my favorite song on our album, The Closer, Heaven Can Wait, featuring Saber Agnew and Ange Seren. Just a phenomenal closer to a very personal album. This, like I said, this is my favorite song on the album. I think this is a next level track. I think this incorporates the potential that Ronnie has as an artist, just going through all the different emotions but still trying to hold off on ending it all to have a chance to be with that loved one again. It's just it's a lot, man. But overall, I enjoyed this album. I think that y'all should definitely check it out to get your own opinion, to help up and coming artists to further develop their growth, get their platform bigger, to be able to be what they truly can be, and hopefully give us more stories to tell in a very well eloquent way. Now the next album I want to talk about is Lone Star of the South by Tavon. Now Tavon is a supporter of the channel. He's somebody that is a frequent fan, a person that is up to date, a person that is also a collaborator of a friend of the show, and Corbin Stewman. And Tavon asked me to listen to his first solo album and to review it. So for someone to come up to me and also be a supporter, how can I not check out their music? And that leads to where we are right here now. The first thing that I noticed before I even listened to Tavon, his solo project, because he's featured on Corbin's music before, is his voice. And for me, as a fan of hip hop, I'm kind of a stickler when it comes to voices. I feel that like if your voice doesn't captivate me, if it doesn't draw my attention, I kind of, it's hard for me to listen to you. You know, it becomes difficult. It becomes a chore. And I'm not saying it's a complete chore with Tavon's voice, but it's like it took me a while to somewhat get used to it. But even then, it's like, to me, it sounds like he hasn't gotten used to or got the hang of how to truly use his voice. Like, for someone to be from Houston, he already kind of has, like, he sounds like Maxwell Cream in a sense, right? Just like how he like just sounds, right? But then you get to a point where he kind of sounds like if Maxwell Cream was like a super fan of East Coast rap, and in particular like people like Guru from Gangstar, probably Gangstar. So his voice is very monotone. It doesn't really go any ups and downs. It doesn't fluctuates, and it's just, for me, that's like it's hard for me, you know. His rapping voice just kind of lacks charisma. Like, it doesn't like instantly get, it doesn't make me want to like, oh wait, let me hear what he got to say, you know. Like, and I'm not trying to be hypercritical, I'm not trying to be a hater or anything like that, but like, that's just something from me. I don't know if y'all will feel the same after y'all listen to Tavon. Maybe I'm just like the minority in this situation, but to me, it's just like, I think he could truly weaponize his voice for it can become something that people literally can't stop listening to. That's all I'm trying to say. So in that point, it was hard for me to truly lock in when I could, like, I kept mentally checking out in certain portions of the album, but I was get through and able to listen. He does have some bars, some lines that are, you know, pretty clever, stuff like that, but it's just like, I think he's pretty far away from putting it to, he's close to putting it together, but he doesn't have it all. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, he has all the ingredients, he just doesn't know what he's doing just yet, in my opinion. Like I said, like, I was checking out, but like, that just made me want to enjoy the production more. And now that I get the chance to speak about production, the production was phenomenal. The production was mainly handled by Corbin Stewman and 2 tracks from Malachi. The production is just, it's the star of the album, in my opinion, no pun intended. Well, not totally intended, but Corbin Malachi cooked up some great beats for this album. I think some of these beats, I think Tavon was able to use to his advantage to make some good songs. This is still like a cool project. It's good. It's not like terrible. It's mixed well. It's mastered great. It sounds good. You know, it's just that, in my opinion, that it's just him himself that needs to step it up in a sense. Also, if you ever had those albums that you listen to and there's a feature artist that's on the album multiple times, and you're not really a fan of that artist and they just there. That's how I felt about his boy Made in New York. Made in New York is on here 4 times, and I did not enjoy him not one single time. To me, if Tavon's having an issue with sound like somebody from New York, Made in New York, it literally sounds like a RZA impersonator. Like, I'm talking like his rhyme patterns are completely off that tree, but I guess that's what expected when you know the rapper's name is Made in New York. It's just, I don't know, I just did not enjoy listening to him rap as much, and just like, if I was like kind of checking out when I was listening to Tavon, I was instantly gone as soon as I heard Made in New York rap. But you know, maybe it's just because both of them are very early in their rap careers, that they just need some time to develop. So I'm not going to just like, maybe I'm being a little too harsh on Made in New York, but I think artists are best when they don't sound like their influences. It's okay to be influenced by artists. Everybody's influenced by something, but when you sound like a doppelganger, that's where it's like that line needs to be drawn somewhere, you know. But let's really get into the album track by track, right? But let's get into the breakdown. Now, the first track, Rap Music, I think is a really cool little intro. I think it was interesting for them to utilize the snippet of the news anchor from way back in like the 80s who was talking about rap music, just like explaining what it is. and I think it was a good segue to lead to Tavon to rap. He's he's flowing, he's doing his thing. It's nothing it's not too crazy, but it's just to kind of highlight what he's capable of and what we're getting into with this album. Made in New York hops on. Yeah, and then nothing much to say. Again, this is just one of those intro tracks where it's just like the production's great, Tavon highlights himself well, and you get to know. It's like I think it's a good first domino to kick over to get into the album. Now, Aiming for the Stars. I wasn't too fond of it. I think it's a cool track. I think that Tavon has some good lines. He must be a huge baseball fan, because this song was like, there was like a plethora of different baseball lines and bars in sequence during the midpoint of the track, and then like it's going on for like at least a minute of different baseball references, and then you get into like the last portion at the end of the song. But it was cool. It was definitely I think he's clever in the sense of the different things that he was saying, but nothing too crazy about this track. I think it's very excellent. The only thing that's really crazy is the production. Getting into the next track, Highs and Lows, samples a skit from the Chappelle Show in the beginning. I thought that was that made me laugh a little bit. This is Tavon trying to get his LL Cool J back, trying to make a song for the ladies, and it's okay. Nothing. I have no bad feelings for this one. I think this song probably has the best hook on the album. I think I just think he needs maybe a little more time developing this the lover boy raps. I don't think he's there quite yet, but it's not bad. Very very kind of like very clean cut type of things, nothing crazy. The next track, New Status, featuring Made in New York. This had me nodding my head. I think that Tavon was in a pocket with the production where it's just like I didn't really care what he was saying, but like I was just listening and I was nodding, and then the music was just going, and then like everything was flowing properly on the track. I will give Made in New York some credit. He had a couple of cool lines in here as well. He feels like just in this song, I don't know what it was, but like it felt like he was rapping for a while, and the song is not that long, but I don't know. It was just oof, man. I'm trying to be nice. The hook was cool on here as well, but it comes out at the back end. I think that a hook throughout the song probably could have been cool, but the hook on the back end is not bad at all. So it's like it's all right. It's not a bad song, not a bad song at all. Gunslingers featuring Made in New York again. It's all right. This is like probably my least favorite song on the album, honestly. Yeah, I'm getting to the next track. Head Nodders featuring Made in New York. I think there are points in this song that I'm like kind of, again, not trying to be pun intended, but I've started nodding my head to what Tavon is saying. He's getting into a groove, and just like, okay, and then the way that the beat was growing, like it was certain points where like it was meeting Tavon in great spots that made me like, okay, yeah, like I was like, it was making me feel some type of way, and I was enjoying where I was at it. Again, at that part with Tavon, it was a cool track. All or Nothing, probably one of my favorite beats on the album. Shout out to Corb for that. Just definitely well executed on that front. Tavon has a few bars that caught my attention as well. It was just like I feel like the further you get on the back end of the album, the better that it gets, from not only the music standpoint but as well as the performances from Tavon. Next track, No Way Home, probably the most emotion I felt from Tavon on the back end of the song. Like the vocal inflections changed. It was just like this, like what he was doing on that back end, I need more of it. I need him to be able to control his voice and be able to make it something that draws attention, makes people want to listen, that puts his foot in the ground and just like, roars like a lion, let everybody know what's going on here. I need more of that from him in that aspect. So that was my favorite performance in that sense from him. Pine Barrens, this is a good song. I think Tavon uses the beat well. Production on the song is immaculate. And again, like I said, on the back end, things started to get really good. Quicks beat matches the hook, use the production well, great little lines and whatnot in there as well. We Coming, I think this is a cool song to have towards the end of the album. It lets you know, like, the finish line is getting close to the album, and it's just like everything's just vibing right now. Nice wordplay, good hook. What else can I say on that front? Lone Star of the South, probably the best song on the album in my opinion. I think it highlights Tavon and who he is right now as a rapper well, in a sense, even though I think his the voice portion of how I feel and that little criticism that I have is kind of like somewhat non-existent in this portion. I think that, like Guru on Betrayal, a song that I really love, but like I don't care for Guru, that was the best song I've ever heard Guru rap, and like everything fit perfectly for me to enjoy the song. That's how I feel about Lone Star of the South. This is the time that I feel that Tavon was at his best, but this is so early in his career that I know he can grow. Then we get to Southern Star, Gem. This is the closer track. I think it's cool, it's nice. Everything gets finished. A nice bow is tied up on top, and I think this leads to him showing, that there's more to come, in my opinion, from Tavon, and I'm interested to see where he goes. Overall, this is a good start for a solo career, because I checked out his discography. He's done a collab where it's just him and another either a rapper or producer, but for him to stand alone besides having his homeboy on a couple tracks, this is a great way to a great start, and I'm interested to see where this leads him. I'm not trying to be harsh in my criticism, because maybe I'm the one that's tripping, but I feel that he can grow in certain aspects, and with the weaponizing of his voice, I feel that it'll make his rhymes even better, because he'll be able to know how to bend words in certain aspects, and I think it'll be very interesting to see what he can do going forward. So Tavon, I hope you take this to heart, and I know that this is coming from a very meaningful place, very purposeful place when I say these criticisms. It's really simple why I wanted to do this episode. This is just to, the year's coming towards the end, and I wanted to highlight some great people who wanted me to check out their work. I think that y'all should check them out as well, to give them support, help build their fan bases, for they can, hopefully reach some opportunities that they when the work matches it, that they deserve, and they're both putting in some work. So I'm excited to see where they go from here. Next week I will not be releasing a video. I'm preparing for my end of the year videos. Y'all about to get like at least maybe 3 videos in 1 week. That's what I'm planning on. Y'all gonna get my top movies of the years, you're gonna get my top albums of the year, and then y'all gonna get my top up and coming artist albums of the year. So like 3 different levels, 3 different things going on, and I hope y'all prepare for it, because I'm preparing a lot, and I'm excited for it. So lock in for that. We didn't get 500 subscribers, but the people that are here, I appreciate y'all support. It means a lot to me. This journey has been meaningful to me. I'm excited to see where it goes, because next year I'm taking it to a whole nother level, and I'm excited for y'all to be on that journey with me. So be prepared, be locked in, and make sure y'all spread the word, because even if I don't got 500 subscribers now, the goal is still going into next year. So make sure y'all tap it in and spreading the word to let people know what's going on at Docs Brando 25. This has been Rorvis Reviews. I am Rorvis Paradox, aka Docs Brando, And I'll see y'all again pretty soon. Peace.